Welcome to Explore the World, where we journey beyond borders to reveal the powerful truths shaping our planet. Today, we bring you the story of Palestine, a land of breathtaking natural beauty, deep spiritual roots, and unimaginable sorrow. A land where olive trees bloom beside walls of separation, where children play beneath drones, and where hope clings to life amid ruin. This is not just a story of war and politics, but one of heartbreak, heritage, survival, and the fierce resilience of a people who refuse to vanish. Chapter 1. Geography and Natural Beauty. Palestine lies at the intersection of continents, cradled between the Mediterranean Sea and the Jordan River, nestled among mountains, valleys, and coastal plains. Its geography is not only diverse but breathtakingly beautiful. The fertile lands of the Jordan Valley, the rolling hills of the West Bank, and the golden beaches of Gaza once made it a destination of prosperity and harmony. The sun sets over olive groves that have stood for centuries, symbols of peace and resistance. Streams meander through ancient farmland, and the air still carries the scent of citrus and jasmine. It is a land where shepherds once led flocks under starry skies, and where today, people still cling to tradition under the shadow of occupation. But with the natural beauty also comes devastation. The Israeli separation wall cuts through this landscape like a scar. Where once stood uninterrupted fields, now there are barriers, checkpoints, and surveillance towers. Palestine's beauty remains, but now it survives in defiance. Chapter 2. A land of ancient civilizations. Palestine is one of the most historically rich lands on Earth. It was the cradle of Canaanite civilization, a land where prophets walked and kings ruled. Cities like Jericho, among the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the world, stand as monuments to human resilience and adaptation. Throughout its history, the land was ruled by pharaohs, emperors, and caliphs. The Romans built amphitheaters, aqueducts, and fortresses. Byzantines built churches still standing today. The Islamic Golden Age saw the flourishing of art, science, and spirituality. Every stone in Palestine tells a story of conquest and continuity, of destruction and devotion. In Hebron, the Cave of the Patriarchs houses the tombs of Abraham and his family, sacred to three faiths. In Jerusalem, the Dome of the Rock shimmers with golden defiance atop the sacred Temple Mount. Palestine is not just a place. It is a history carved in stone, layered in generations. Chapter 3. The Ottoman Era to British Mandate. For 4 centuries, Palestine lived under the Ottoman Empire, where diverse religious communities coexisted, traded, and shared the land. But the end of World War I brought a seismic shift. Under British rule and the Balfour Declaration of 1917, Britain supported the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine, without the consent of its Arab population. This began a painful era of migration, displacement, and growing tensions. Arab Palestinians, who had lived on and farmed the land for centuries, now faced a changing reality. Protests erupted. British soldiers clashed with villagers. The fragile balance began to unravel. It was an era of promises broken, a betrayal that laid the groundwork for decades of bloodshed. Chapter 4 to 1948. The Nakba. A catastrophe remembered. May 15, 1948. A day of celebration for some, but a day of mourning for millions. The establishment of the State of Israel led to the mass displacement of over 700,000 Palestinians. Entire villages were razed. People fled with nothing but their keys and deeds to homes they would never return to. The event became known as the Nakba, or Catastrophe. Families were separated across borders. Generations were born in refugee camps. Memory became their only inheritance. Stories of orchards, homes, and laughter faded into the harsh reality of tents and aid lines. The Nakba was not a moment, it was a beginning. A beginning of exile, statelessness, and unrelenting struggle for return and recognition. Chapter 5. A life under occupation. Since the Six-Day War of 1967, the Israeli military has occupied the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and previously Gaza. Life under occupation is not simply a political condition, it is a daily human hardship. Movement is restricted by hundreds of checkpoints. Pregnant women have given birth at barriers. Children are detained without charges. Villages are cut off from farmlands. Homes are demolished with little warning. Surveillance drones buzz overhead. Curfews are imposed arbitrarily. Military incursions happen in the dead of night. Occupation is not a headline, it is a crushing weight that affects every breath, every step. Yet, even under these circumstances, Palestinian society survives. It teaches, it heals, it dreams. Chapter 6. Gaza. A prison in the open air. The Gaza Strip, 365 square kilometers of blockaded land, home to over 2 million people. It has endured repeated wars, airstrikes, and an unrelenting siege since 2007. Electricity runs for just a few hours a day. Clean water is scarce. Unemployment is among the highest in the world. Children go to bed hungry and wake up to the sound of fighter jets. Yet, Gaza is not silent. It writes poetry. It paints murals. It launches kites into the sky as acts of joy and defiance. From the rubble of bombed schools rise new classrooms. From grief rises music. Gaza bleeds, but Gaza breathes. Chapter 7. The West Bank, fractured and fighting. The West Bank is a landscape fragmented by settlements, bypass roads, and military zones. Over 600,000 Israeli settlers live in areas considered illegal under international law. Their presence has led to land confiscations, water shortages, and rising violence. Palestinians in nearby villages face regular intimidation. Despite this, the West Bank thrives in pockets. Ramallah is a hub for education and business. Nablus is known for its ancient architecture and resistance spirit. Bethlehem welcomes pilgrims, even under restriction. The people plant olive trees, again and again, even when they are uprooted. They rebuild homes, again and again, even after demolitions. The West Bank lives, divided, but determined. Chapter 8. The innocence of the children. Palestinian children carry the weight of conflict from the moment they are born. They learn the difference between tear gas and smoke. They memorize the names of lost siblings. They walk to school beside tanks. And yet, they draw. They laugh. They dream. Children in Gaza sketch butterflies, even while sheltering from bombs. In refugee camps, they dance dabki and recite poetry. They speak of freedom with clarity that shakes the world. These children are not just survivors. They are the soul of Palestine. Chapter 9. Culture as resistance. Culture is survival. For Palestinians, it is resistance. Embroidered dresses tell stories of hometowns erased. Dabki is danced at weddings and funerals alike. Traditional food, makluba, musakin, nafe, is served as celebration and remembrance. Poetry, especially by voices like Mahmoud Darwish and Fadwa Tukan, gives language to pain and pride. Art decorates the walls of refugee camps, color in a world of dust. To sing in Arabic, to plant an olive tree, to name a child after a lost village, these are acts of identity. These are acts of defiance. Chapter 10. International politics and abandonment. Palestine exists in a world that often sees, but seldom acts. Despite support from over 130 countries, Palestine remains stateless. Peace talks start and stall. Resolutions are passed and ignored. The UN debates while bulldozers roll. Meanwhile, Palestinians continue to lose land, rights, and lives. The world watches, but rarely intervenes. Chapter 11. Faith in the fight for justice. Palestine is sacred. Home to Al-Aqsa Mosque, the Church of the Nativity, and centuries of spiritual legacy. But beyond its stones, its people also carry a faith in freedom, in return, in humanity. Faith here is not only religious, it is resistance. To believe that justice will come, to hold on to identity, to teach children about their stolen cities. This is Palestine's unshaken faith. Chapter 12. The spirit of a people. Palestinians are not defined by their suffering, but by their strength. They survive exile. They endure occupation. They create beauty amid brutality. They are farmers, poets, doctors, engineers, musicians, mothers, fathers, humans demanding to be seen. They refuse to forget. And they refuse to disappear. Conclusion: Palestine is not only a place, it is a feeling. a wound and a wonder. It is every olive tree still standing, every lullaby sung beneath crumbling ceilings, every child who dares to dream. Thank you for joining Explore the World on this journey into the heart of a people who will not give up. Subscribe for more stories that challenge, move, and inspire.